Welcome guys, so I'm going to do my 7th All-Will-Be-One quick draft today. Yeah, I've got 48 hours left this week, so I might try and do a couple of these. It will be back in a couple of weeks time, so I'm not in a hurry to use up all my gold on this. There's a little trick I've learnt recently. If you hold down the Alt key, it actually shows you how many of the cards you have in your collection, which is very handy. Obviously there's other third-party mods you can use, but it's nice to have this sort of built into the interface now. So we've actually got 3 Blade of Shared Souls, but I will go ahead and grab my 4th copy. So this is quite a good card as well, I think. It's basically a clone for 3 mana, and because it's an equipment, you can move it around. Whenever it becomes attached, you can have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control. So you can only clone your own creatures, but still, it seems quite good. Now we have an Urabrask's Forge. If I press Alt, what we notice is I do have 4 copies of this. I think this is a really fantastic card, though. I think it's probably the best card in the pack. I think it's reasonable to go blue-red. Cephalopod Sentry is quite a nice one, if you have lots of artifacts, I suppose. Worth having just a little look around at what's available. So, scope for sort of maybe a blue-red oil deck, blue-red artifacts, maybe. I think we'll grab the Forge. Okay. Right. So, yeah, we've got a good blue and a good red rare. So, Atmosphere Surgeon. That's right. You can give things flying on your turn because it's sorcery speed. If you cast a non-creature spell, that seems okay. We don't care too much about poison, I would say, if we're going, because red has literally no poison in it, I think. Shrapnel Slinger. We actually have a source of creatures that we could sacrifice from the Forge. So that makes Shrapnel Slinger a bit better. Forge Hammer Centurion. It's a bit tricky to get the tokens on this. You need creatures to die. That said, of course, Urabrask Forge creatures will die every turn, so it makes that a little bit better. I think maybe I go for this guy, the Atmosphere Surgeon. It's a nice 2-drop, and can give us evasion. Could even give flying to our Forge tokens, so could be good. Right, Distorted Curiosity, so that goes well with poison, but we're probably not going for poison. Right, Exuberant Fuseling. So this is yeah, oil counters again. So this could, I think this has got a bit of potential. It's something that could grow and get more dangerous. It's like a persistent version of the Forge tokens, I suppose. Prosthetic Injector gives 2 points of toughness and Toxic 1 to things. I have seen people use this quite effectively. But it means you know, it's not a creature and it's not a removal spell, which it puts it in that sort of slightly dodgy territory. Okay, that's a big card draw card. Got the Barbed Batter Fist, which is a 2-drop, which is okay. Kuldotha Cackler. So that's a payoff for oil. It's got evasion. I think that might be what we go for. I think it's better than a 4-Chamber Centurion. I'm still not sure about the Shrapnel Slingers, but these could definitely be good. I think I prefer the Kuldotha Cackler here. Okay, Furnace Punisher is just a 3/3 menace, which is fine. It's, yeah, everyone's going to have basic lands, so it's not going to get that extra thing, but 3/3 menace, not bad at all. Escaped Experiment is a 2-drop, and it's an artifact creature. We could be looking for an artifact payoff later. It is an artifact payoff itself. We've got a bit of an artifact theme. We've started. Chimney Rabble seems quite a good 4-drop. I want to work on my 2-drops first, I suppose. Maybe Furnace Punisher's better than the Escaped Experiment, though. But I've already got, 3 decent 3-drops already. I think I want to work on my 2-drops. I'll get an Escaped Experiment. Okay, Eye of Malcator. This works with artifacts. It becomes a 4/4. It also scries for 2. Chimney Rabble's pretty decent. We've got the Dune Mover that can grab you a basic land. I have found that quite useful in my previous draft. I had 4 of these. I had a very consistent opening, and it's a 2-drop as well. Yeah, I think get the Dune Mover. Tamiyo's Logbook, so that's an artifact payoff thingy. Gitaxian Raptor's Oil, and it's pretty good. I think I'm going to go for the Logbook here. We'll go for artifacts. Okay, we've got Exuberant Fuseling. Let's come around again. Kuldotha Cackler. Phyrexian Atlas. Yeah, we're doing quite well for 3-drops, really, aren't we? Do we want another 3-drop creature? Maybe we experiment with a 1-drop. Yeah, let's have a 1-drop. Minor Misstep. Prophetic Prism is an artifact. Yeah, Minor Misstep is going to be useless, completely useless. I think we'll get a Prophetic Prism. Meldweb Curator, yeah, that seems quite good. Reuse one of your spells next turn. Decent body as well, 3/4. And then there's 4-Chamber Centurion, bit of a filler card, I would say. I think I want to try Shrapnel Slinger in this deck. Okay, let's sideboard that. Oh, that's nice. A late Terramorphic Expanse. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Right. Now, Skrelv Defectomite is fantastic. For the collection, though, I'm going to just grab it for the collection. And right, let's see. Ica Plate Golem. Okay, well that goes well with all of my oil counters. Yeah, I don't think there's anything better than that. Cephalopod Sentry. So maybe we splash white for this because this is another artifact payoff. But we do have Ica Synthesizer as well, which is potentially a good evasion creature, and we've got a removal spell there for 5. I'm going to take a Cephalopod Sentry. We might be able to splash for it. We'll see. Affinity for artifacts, but it's double white. That's a bit tricky. Okay, counter spell. Glistening Seer is quite a nice thing for scrying. Skullbomb's quite a nice artifact. I think I like the Seer. So we've got Hexgold Slash here. So finally we actually get a decent removal spell. Right, another Exuberant, Fuseling, Furnace Punisher, Gitaxian Raptor. Raptor's quite a nice big chunky blocker. I've already got a couple of 1-drop creatures. I don't want to have too many of them. It's tempting to get another Fuseling. I'll go for the Raptor. That's a solid blocker. Yeah, bring the ending is basically a quench, I guess. Ah, here we go. Chrome Prowler is a nice artifact creature. I definitely want that. Right, here he sacrifices another removal spell. But you have to sacrifice something, so it's you're kind of potentially 2-for-1ing yourself unless you can kill multiple things. There's nothing else particularly good. I'm not sure I want a Phyrexian Atlas in this deck. So I will take that. I might not use it. Right, that's a bit of mana fixing, bit of ramp. We've got another Eye of Malcator here, and another Meldweb Curator. We're getting many instants and sorceries. We've got a couple so far. Meldweb Curator's not looking that amazing yet. Eye of Malcator. I think we want one of these in the deck. We're doing artifacts, so let's grab it. Axiom Engraver or Terramorphic Expanse. I think that goes with the oil theme. Let's grab that. That's an artifact creature. Yeah, let's get the Mere Custodian. I think Surgical Skullbomb looks good here. Escaped Experiment. Another Mere Custodian. Okay. Okay, let's check out Kemba. Okay, got 2 of these already. I will take another one. But it won't make it. Another Cephalopod Sentry. Can we afford to do that? Is there something better? Well, there's Ica Synthesizer, which is another 2-drop. I think we need some more 2-drops. Maybe Surgical Skullbomb's quite good. Gitaxian Raptor's quite good. Shrapnel Slinger. I'm tempted by this Sentry. I want to see if I can make this work and make just an all artifacts deck with this guy. Could be good. Okay, slow bad the Iron Goblin. Sure, let's take that guy. 3/3 for 3 mana as well. Not bad. Another Eye of Malcator. Malcator's Watcher. Nice cheap 2-drop, I guess, as well. Quicksilver Fisher. Well, the Eye of Malcators could be pretty oppressive if we've got an entire artifact deck. Watch is just quite good. Got so many 3-drops to choose from. We might have a tricky choice. I think I'll go for the 2-drop here. Ica Synthesizer, Hexgold Slash. It's got to be the Hexgold Slash, I think. Hazardous Blast is good as well. Yeah, I think I'd take a Dune Mover. Oh, there we go, Ica Plate Golem again. But also Unctus is Retrofitter. That's pretty good with artifacts. We've got to decide if we're going oil or artifacts. Do have 18 artifacts now. That's pretty good. So you need 23 cards for a deck. Probably don't have as much oil going on. So if I just cut out things that are just purely oil based, Glistening Seer, Fuseling. Yeah, got that. Just keep the artifact things. That's oil based. That's kind of oil based as well. That can sort of do something with artifacts. You can always keep oil as a sort of side strategy, but yeah, we can make basically an entire artifact deck in blue and red. I think I'll go for the Retrofitter in that case. Hey, Atrax's Skitterfang, so it does artifact and oil things. think that's a pretty good one. Just look at the mana curve. Yeah, seems okay. Experimental Augury. Proliferate. Yeah. That might be good. Let's grab it. Okay, Ica Synthesizer. That's for the, I guess, for the oil deck a bit more. Take a Surgical Skullbomb. Ica Plate Golem. Why not? Don't mind if I do. I guess we'll take the red spell here. Dune Mover or Hazardous Blast. I wouldn't mind having access to a Hazardous Blast. I think it might be good. Another Mere Custodian. So it looks like we can go oil or artifacts. So we've got pretty close to a deck actually here. Yeah, I think I'll call that end of part one, and it's definitely need a bit of a tinker here, and just to figure out which is going to be the best strategy. So, yeah, thanks for watching so far. Okay, I've finalised a deck here. So, it's red-blue. We are splashing white for Cephalopod Sentry. I was just fixing the mana base, so I've got a couple of lanes and 6 mountains and a Terramorphic Expanse. So if we count up the sources, I've got 3 ways of getting planes in the lands, and then I've got 2 Dune Movers and a Prophetic Prism. So it adds up to 6 white sources. So I think that's reasonable for splashing a 4-drop. I don't think we can't really afford to splash our white rares really, because we're not going to be able to play them on curve. I don't think they make that much sense if we're not playing them on curve. Kemba's, yeah, pretty nice. You could make a cat token, but it's double white to use that ability as well, so a bit tricky to use that. So the difficult sort of, well, the easy way of just cutting the deck down is just to choose between oil or artifacts, and so I've gone fully artifacts. I've still got an Atraxa Skitterfang because that's just too good to ignore. It's just good on its own. It doesn't need other oil cards to go with it, I would say. Whereas Ica Plate Golem, Goldothor Cackler, you need other things with oil for these to be good. Forge Hammer Centurion, it's a bit of effort to actually put oil counters on that. And then, let's see, Gataxian Raptor, Glistening Seer, Atmosphere Surge, and Axiom Engraver, they all sort of, yeah, and we've got the Fuseling. So we've got a bundle of oil creatures. I've just decided I just like the artifact idea better. I think my artifacts as a group are a little bit stronger. Also, I've tried playing oil before. I've not really tried playing an artifacts deck before, and this seems like a good opportunity to try it out. Yeah, so, and I guess one sort of tricky decision, I mean, I've got these mere custodians that I could play. So it's a 2/3 for 3 mana. You scry for 2, your opponent scries for 1 as well. It's sort of an okay card. It's kind of a filler artifact that I could be playing. I decided to actually drop them because I like the idea of Meldweb Curator and Hazardous Blast, and maybe recurring, you know, spells that are going to be useful. We've got the 2 Hexgold Slashes to recur as well. I've chucked in Experimental Augury, which, I mean, we've only got one thing with oil tokens, so we're not going to get much action out of the Proliferate, but it is another spell in the deck that we could bring back with Meldweb Curator. And I like the idea of digging through the deck to try and hit my Urabrask's Forge. That's the one we're really looking for. And also just to sort of look to try and fix my mana. Yeah, so the big thing we're building up to is Cephalopod Sentry with lots of artifacts. That's the idea of the deck. Just have a big flyer that can end the game quickly. Possibly copy it with Blade of Shed Souls as well. So that's an argument for putting a few more artifacts in the deck, but I feel like Hazardous Blast could be very good in some situations, so I've kept that in there. Anyway, so I think I'm fairly happy with that. This is the mana curve here for a 7/4. It's quite a low curve, but we'll keep 17 land. But yeah, I mean, I don't have 100% confidence in this deck. This could be a 0/3, to be honest. If you can get Urabrask's Forge on turn 3, that's pretty good. That can just win you the game. Oh my goodness, I am up against a diamond player. Oh, that's not so good, is it? So 2 land, we've missed red. We can't cast anything. Our early stuff is both red. We don't have any fixing. These are the downsides. We are going second. We get that extra draw. That might fix everything. If we do get an extra land, we can play a Skitterfang and a Logbook. If we get 2 extra lands, we can play the Sentry. I say we keep it just because we're going second and we're drawing that extra card to try and... This is going to try and fix everything for us. Okay, not quite. And still not quite there. Third time lucky. He's got a good start. Third time lucky. We've got a third land. We can Skitterfang. We could play a Tamiyo's Logbook and then turn that into a 4/4 creature next turn. And that would be an extra body, whereas this would be... if playing this would mean I'd be turning a 2/2 into a 4/4. Seems terrible, but there's a certain logic to playing the Logbook here. And then if he blows up the Retrofitter, then we're in a lot of trouble. But so that's going to swing for 3, at least, because that's got oil. So that's right, we've got 6 mountains, we've got 1 Terramorphic Expanse, we've got a couple of Dune Movers, we've got an artifact that fixes armor. So I think we do have enough red sources in the deck. There's a Terramorphic Expanse, okay. Well, we've got a 4/2 creature to deal with now. So we're going to use this now to find a mountain. Retrofitter. Make that into a 4/4. No attacks. Fingers crossed he doesn't have, you know, a combat trick or something. Just needs to blow up the Retrofitter, and he's swinging for maybe 8 damage. Yeah. So he's got his 5 mana removal there. That should be 8 damage. Dead next turn. So yeah, slow start. can be quite costly here. Now, we can play a nice big blocker, the Sentry, and have mana for a Hexgold Slash. Hazardous Blast isn't doing much. We could go Skitterfang and Shrapnel Slinger as well if we wanted. Okay, let's go for the Sentry. So he can equip that to something and give it +2 power. I'm thinking whilst he's tapped out, I want to blow up his 2 toughness creature. In case he does have that Titanic growth or something. That gets to 4/3. And fingers crossed. Oh yeah, that gets to 5 power. Okay. If he's got Titanic growth, we lose. But I don't want to trade off my creature, so I'll just have to take the 5 damage. He's got a 3/1 creature as well now. Okay. Hazardous Blast will knock that out. And then I won't be able to do anything else. We can Shrapnel Slinger. Destroy an artifact. Could blow up the splitter. Okay, let's go for Skitterfang. And a Shrapnel Slinger, but we won't sacrifice anything, I think. We can only blow up an artifact. I don't think it's worthwhile. We could give the Sentry Vigilance. We want to block with the Sentry. We could give him Lifelink, of course. But it's a bit risky to tap the creature, I think. So yeah, that's getting to 5, of course. That's attacking as well. So we have to chuck that there. We can go there, and that can go there. Of course, you can pump this guy up with... Alright, he's got a finisher for that creature. That is a shame. Okay, we have an escaped experiment. Do it. So it wasn't the best opening hand, but I thought I'd risk it. Because it was 2 lands and I was on the draw. It felt like a riskable hand. But opponent had a good, pretty good start there. He had that quite aggressive 3-drop creature. Yeah, he had 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Took me till turn 4 to get a tapped mountain. So it was turn 5 before I could use my Hexgold Slash. Same situation again, no mountain, but this time we don't have any red spells. So it's better, and we've got Experimental Augury to actually look for a mountain on turn 2. Nice, Churning Reservoir. I wish I had one of those. Okay, 3/1 creature. So I think play the Watcher now to trade off with it if he attacks. So that would seem to make sense. I was thinking holding this back so it could activate my Eye of Malcator, but I think we've got to try and keep up with what my opponent's doing. So he's going to make that a 4/4 creature. Nice. Okay. That's going to attack. Fair enough. Well, there's the mountain, so that's nice. Yeah, we don't really have a defensive play here. The Eye of Malcator just scries for 2. Right, we've got 2 land. So 4 mana basically plays everything in the deck. We've got a 4th land in hand. We've got all our colours of mana, so I think we just put both of those to the bottom. That's got Vigilance, so that can just attack actually. May as well. But impressive start from my opponent. 1-drop into 2-drop into 3-drop that puts 6 power and 7 toughness on the board. So definitely we're feeling like we don't have enough removal at this point. Okay, that's a 3/2 now. So he can attack with all of those because I can't trade effectively, so that's fine. I'll take like 9 damage, turn 4. Another creature, so another aggressive creature, fair enough. We've got 4 mana. So this is the problem with the Eye of Malcator. It's offensive only, unless somehow you have a well, there is a flash artifact creature. But yeah, very rarely are you ever going to get to block with this. So I think it's looking like the Cephalopod Sentry is the thing to do here. Eye of Malcator may as well attack. We're very nearly dead. So this is looking like the dreaded 0/3, but that's what happens. Couple of good starts from both my opponents. Oh dear, and he's able to take out my best blocker, which is not ideal. So let's see if I can. Yeah, 8 damage gets through whatever I do. So, yeah, great. let's block here. Now that's a quick game. So yeah, turn 3 Unctus is Retrofitter. That is how you're going to lose a game very quickly if they manage to get like a turn 1 cheap artifact out, and you don't have removal. Interesting. I was the one with the Unctus Retrofitter previous game. My opponent had the 5 mana removal for it. Yeah. So it looks like a quick one. We're not going to switch to the oil deck. I don't think it's going to see a dramatic improvement in results. So yeah, both times they're just not making it out of the early game, just getting completely steamrollered. This time we do have a mountain in the opening hand. So we've got our 2-drop Malcator's Watcher. Yeah. And a 3-drop Atrax's Skitterfang. We actually have a 1-drop. We're on the draw again. See what we can do with it. See if this gets counterspelled. No, Experimental Augury, okay. We can find our planes with that. Throwing Bird, okay. Or we can just top deck a planes. Even better. They could bounce it back to his hand, I suppose. I'll play Traxxas Skitterfang. Could give this guy lifelink if I wanted. Yes, I will. I'll give it lifelink. Why not? Gain a life point. You might blow up the Skitterfang next turn, is what I'm thinking, so may as well get a tiny bit of value out of it. Okay, so I'll lose the Watcher and get a poison counter, and then this will hit me and give me another poison counter. Right, so I can Hazardous Blast to kill it. That's one option. I can bounce it back to his hand and draw a card. And in the meantime play a tap land. I feel it's better to add a bit of pressure to the board first. Nah, I'm gonna bounce that back to his hand. I'm gonna play Terramorphic Expanse. Yeah. Give it lifelink and attack. And I think just take any land really out of the deck. Take an island. There's the Throbbing Bird. Okay. If he gets me to 3 poison, he has corrupted. So, is it worth playing Hazardous Blast just to kill a Throbbing Bird? In this situation, I'm going to say yes. Honestly, I feel bad now, but no, it's bound to happen. We'll decline that and just swing in for 2. We need to get a bit of let's decline that. A few bodies on the board. I'm not sure I want to do Blade of Shed Souls yet. The Logbook is maybe starting to look good. Then again, maybe we do just need a body. I'll copy a... I could copy a Dune Mover and then I'm doing 2 toxic to him. And this proliferates and gets him to 3 toxic, which could... Oh, that's a lot of poison. Oh dear. 4, and I get to 5. Wow. Brutal. So, I think attack first. This thing's doing me 3 poison next turn. We're gonna try and find a solution here. Meldweb Curator. Meldweb Curator actually does work. Submit. Get another poison counter, which is nice. So we play the Curator and we can put our Hazardous Blast back on top. If he doesn't counterspell it. But 6, oh no. And he just needs 1 more spell to get me to 10 poison. Brutal. And yeah, that's an extra poison. Good game. That's all he needed. He just wins with Thrumming Bird. Amazing. And that's the 0-3. Yay. We got there. Not lost in that particular way, got to say, before. Good fun. Oh well. I had the previous draft was 7-0, and I said knowing me, I'll go 0-3 in the next one. And sure enough, it's happened. But I tried something new. I've tried artifact, sort of red-blue artifacts with a splash for white for these Cephalopod Sentries. But definitely first 2 games they had opponents had a good rollout, and that was just me not having removal. I had the 1 removal card. If I knew he was going to play a second Thrumming Bird, I'd have held the Hazardous Blast. But there you go. Of course, the other thing was I could have sacrificed an Atraxas Skitterfang, which would have, in hindsight, would have been the right move, and then I would have still had a 1/1 flyer to block with. But I didn't see things escalating quite that quickly. But there you go. Anyway, that was the deck. Yeah, we just I guess we didn't have quite a good enough start in each game. Could not match the opponents. The last game, I guess, was the closest one, but it was just a case of digging for a removal spell of any kind. Yeah, Eye of Malcator felt very bad in game 2 because it can't block. This is the worry I have about this card. When you need a blocker, this does not fit the bill, unfortunately. Scrying for 2 is quite nice, but I guess Mere Custodians do that as well, and they can block. Yeah. Oh well. Just a failed experiment, I think. We were on the draw game 1 and game 3. I'm not sure about game 2. Sometimes you end up on the draw every game as well, which doesn't help. But let's claim the prize there. I got 2 packs. That's nice. That's makes it a little less painful. Anyway, I think that is a video. So thanks for watching.